punch landed square on my jaw, sending me sprawling across the polished hardwood floor of our family home in suburban Chicago. Blood trickled from my split lip as I looked up at my brother, Mark, his face twisted in rage I'd never seen before. "You disgusting freak," he snarled, his voice echoing through the stunned silence of the reunion party, where relatives froze with champagne flutes in hand. I wiped the blood away, my mind racing back to how it all started. It was supposed to be a simple weekend getaway, celebrating Grandma's 85th birthday. But there he was, Ethan, Mark's fiancé, the man who'd been stealing glances at me for months. Last night, under the cover of darkness in the guest room, Ethan's hand had brushed mine, and in a moment of weakness, I'd leaned in. Now everything was unraveling. Pushing myself up, I met Mark's eyes, my heart pounding not just from the pain but from the guilt gnawing at my insides. Why did I do it? I thought, the question looping endlessly. I'd spent years burying this part of me, pretending to be the perfect son in a family where traditional values meant no room for someone like me. Dad, a retired cop with a Bible on his nightstand, would disown me if he knew. Mom, always the peacemaker, would cry herself to sleep. And Mark? He was the golden boy, straight-A student turned successful lawyer, engaged to Ethan, the charming architect everyone adored. But Ethan wasn't what he seemed. Or maybe I wasn't. The kiss had been electric, forbidden. A spark that ignited something I'd suppressed since high school. Is this who I really am? The doubt clawed at me as whispers erupted around us. Aunt Linda gasped, clutching her pearls. Cousin Jake smirked, like he'd always suspected. "Get out," Mark hissed, his fists clenched. Ethan stood frozen behind him, his eyes pleading with me not to say anything. But the damage was done. I staggered to my feet, grabbing my jacket from the coat rack. As I stormed out into the crisp autumn air, the door slamming behind me, I couldn't shake the betrayal. Not just Mark's, but my own. How could I hurt my brother like this? For a moment of truth, driving aimlessly through the streets, my phone buzzed incessantly. Texts from Mom. "Alex, what happened? Come back." From Dad. "Don't you dare show your face here again." I pulled over, tears blurring my vision. This wasn't just about the kiss. It was about the lie I'd been living. Growing up in this conservative bubble, I dated girls to fit in, joined the football team to prove my manhood. But deep down, the attraction to men had always been there, a shadow I ignored until Ethan. He'd approached me first, months ago at a family dinner. "You're not like the others," he'd whispered, his hand lingering on my shoulder. I'd brushed it off, but the seed was planted. Last night, after too much wine, he'd confessed his doubts about the wedding, about his feelings for me. "Mark's great, but you get me," he'd said. And I'd believed him, let myself fall into the illusion. Now, alone in my car, the weight crushed me. What if I lose everything? My family, my home? The thought terrified me more than anything. But a small voice whispered, "What if this is freedom?" I shook it off, starting the engine. I needed to think, to figure out how to fix this mess. Little did I know, this was only the beginning of the storm. The next morning, I woke in a cheap motel room, my phone dead from ignored calls. Plugging it in, a flood of messages poured in. "Mark, how could you, Alex? He's mine. Ethan, we need to talk. Meet me at the park." My stomach twisted. Talk? After what happened? But curiosity or stupidity won out. I showered, trying to wash away the shame, but it clung like sweat. At the park, Ethan waited on a bench, looking disheveled, his usual polish gone. "Alex," he said, standing as I approached.
"I'm sorry."
Mark walked in on us. I didn't know what to say. "You threw me under the bus," I snapped, my voice low but sharp. "You told him it was all my fault." He winced. I panicked. The wedding's in 3 months. My family's flying in from Boston. If they find out. "So you sacrifice me?" The anger boiled over, but beneath it was hurt. Why did I trust him? Ethan reached for my arm, but I pulled away. "I care about you, Alex. More than I should. But this life, it's complicated." Complicated. That word summed up everything. My internal battle raged. The pull toward authenticity versus the safety of the closet. Society preached acceptance, but in our world it was lip service. Church friends would shun us, jobs could be at risk. Is love worth the ruin? We talked for hours, the conversation circling blame and desire. Ethan admitted he'd questioned his sexuality for years, marrying Mark to appease his conservative parents. It's easier to pretend, he said. But it's killing me. I confessed, the words tumbling out, hiding who I am. As the sun set, Ethan leaned in. Maybe we can figure this out together. I hesitated, the moral quandary hitting hard. Betraying Mark again? But the loneliness ached. In that moment I chose wrong, or right. I didn't know. We parted with a promise to meet again. My mind a whirlwind of conflict. Back at the motel I paced, replaying every decision. Am I the villain here? The question haunted me as sleep evaded. Tomorrow I'd face the family fallout. But for now the seed of rebellion grew. The family meeting was inevitable, called by Dad in his authoritative tone that brooked no argument. I arrived at the house, heart hammering, expecting exile. Instead, Mom enveloped me in a hug, her eyes red-rimmed. We need to talk, honey. In the living room, the air thick with tension, Dad sat rigid in his armchair, Bible in lap. Mark paced, avoiding my gaze, while Ethan hovered awkwardly in the corner.
Seat, Dad commanded.
I obeyed, my mind screaming run. Why am I here? To beg forgiveness for being me? Dad cleared his throat. What happened at the party? It's unacceptable. Mark says you made advances on Ethan. I glanced at Ethan, who looked away. Betrayal stabbed deeper. It's not that simple, I muttered. Simple? Mark exploded. You kissed my fiancé. In our home. The room erupted. Mom tried to mediate, but Dad silenced her. Alex, is it true? Are you one of those? The word hung unspoken. Gay. My throat tightened. Years of suppression bubbled up. Say it. Own it. But fear won. It was a mistake. I was drunk. Lies. More lies. Ethan's eyes met mine, filled with regret. But he said nothing. Dad nodded, relieved. Then we can fix this. Counseling at church. You'll stay away from Ethan. Mark smirked triumphantly. And the wedding goes on. As they planned my redemption, rage simmered inside me. Why should I change? For their comfort? The hypocrisy burned. Dad's family values ignored Mark's own flaws. Like his gambling habit we'd covered up. After the meeting, Ethan cornered me in the hallway.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't risk it. You coward, I whispered. You started this. He grabbed my hand. I know, but I love you both. In different ways. Love? The word twisted the knife. How can he claim that after throwing me to the wolves? That night, alone in my old room, banished to the house under supervision, I wrestled with demons. Betray Mark further, or suppress everything? The choice felt impossible. Society's gaze loomed. Friends who'd ghost me. Jobs where whispers could derail careers. But the alternative, living a lie, suffocated. The next day, I sought solace at a local coffee shop, away from prying eyes. There, I met Jamie, a barista with a rainbow pin on his apron. Rough day? He asked, sliding my latte over. You have no idea. The words spilled. The fight, the kiss, the family ultimatum. Jamie listened, his expression empathetic. I'm out and proud, he said. It wasn't easy, lost some family, but freedom's worth it. His story ignited hope. Could I have that? But doubt crept in. At what cost? Back home, tension escalated. Mark confronted me in the kitchen. Stay away from Ethan, or I'll make your life hell. Or what? Tell everyone your perfect fiancé's cheating on you? With your brother. He shoved me against the counter. You think you're the victim? You've ruined everything. The shove ignited fury. We grappled, dishes crashing. Mom rushed in, pulling us apart. Stop! This family is falling apart. Her tears broke me. Am I worth this destruction? Guilt flooded, but so did resolve. That night, I texted Ethan, "Meet me. We end this." At a secluded bench by the lake, under moonlight, Ethan arrived, hopeful. "Alex, No. I cut him off. "This stops. You're marrying Mark." "I'm done." But his eyes pleaded. "I can't. Not without you." The confession hung heavy. Choose him, betray family. Choose family, betray self. The moral tightrope wobbled. In a moment of madness, I kissed him goodbye, or hello. Passion flared, but regret followed. What have I done? Again? Pulling away, I ran, leaving him calling my name. Home loomed like a prison. Inside, Dad waited. "Where were you?" "Out." Defiance edged my voice. His suspicion grew. With him. The accusation stung. What if I was? Slap. His hand connected, stars exploding. "Not in my house." I touched my cheek, shock turning to anger. "Then I'll leave." Mom sobbed. Mark watched, conflicted. As I packed, Ethan's text buzzed. "Don't go. We can fight this." But fight what? The world? Myself? Driving away, tears streamed. Is authenticity a luxury or a right? The question echoed as Chicago faded in the rearview. In a dingy apartment downtown, I crashed with an old friend, Liam, who knew my secret. "Dude, you look wrecked." I confessed everything. Liam hugged me. "You're brave. But careful, society's not kind." His words rang true. Job interviews loomed. Would my scandal follow? Family ties severed, worth it? Days blurred into isolation. Ethan called relentlessly. Finally, I answered. "What do you want?" "Us," he said. "I'm calling off the wedding." Shock rippled. For me? Or escape? The revelation upended everything. Mark would be devastated. Family shattered further. Am I ready for this chaos? The internal storm raged fiercer. The wedding cancellation hit like a bomb. Mark's furious call came first. "You bastard! Ethan's leaving me." "For you." Denial rose, but truth choked it. "It's not that simple." "Save it. You're dead to me." Click. Guilt crushed heavier. Destroyed my brother's life. For what? Selfish desire? Mom's voice trembled on the next call. "Alex, how could you? Ethan's packed and gone." "I'm sorry," I whispered. But was I? Liberation flickered amid remorse. Dad refused to speak. Excommunicated. The societal backlash began. Whispers from extended family, judgmental posts on social media. "The prodigal son turned sinner," one aunt commented. In my cramped apartment, isolation deepened. Is this freedom or punishment? Doubts assaulted nightly. Jamie, the barista, became a lifeline, inviting me to a support group. LGBT folks sharing stories, he said. There, amid strangers' tales of rejection and triumph, I shared mine. Tears flowed. I betrayed my family. Was it worth it? Older man nodded. Sometimes, truth costs everything. His words lingered. But whose truth? Mine or theirs? Ethan showed up at my door that night, bags in hand. I did it. For us. The word terrified and thrilled. Mark hates me. The family. Forget them, he urged, stepping closer. We can start over. But starting over meant abandoning roots. Can I? The ethical dilemma gnawed. Loyalty to blood versus heart. We spent the night talking, boundaries firm, no repeats of past mistakes. Ethan confessed his fears. My parents disowned me when I came out in college. I hid again with Mark. Vulnerability bonded us. But morning brought reality. A knock. Liam worried. Your brother's outside. Pissed. Mark stormed in, eyes blazing. You stole him. Ethan stood firm. It wasn't stealing. Issues. The confrontation escalated. You both disgust me. Mark spat. Dad's right. We're better without you. Words cut deep. Am I a monster? As Mark left, slamming the door, Ethan held me. We'll get through. But doubt festered. Society's mirror reflected ugliness. News of hate crimes, politicians railing against our kind. Is love a rebellion or recklessness? Weeks passed in tentative bliss. Ethan moved in, job hunting while I tempied at a firm. But shadows loomed. At a dinner with Jamie's friends, acceptance flowed, but I felt fraud. Earned this? Or stole it? Then, the call from Mom. Dad's had a heart attack. Stress from everything. Panic surged. My fault? Rushing to the hospital, Mark blocked me. You caused this. Stay away. Ethan urged. Go in anyway. Defiance won. Inside, Dad lay pale, monitors beeping. Mom hugged me. He needs peace. But I need him to understand. I pleaded internally. Dad stirred. Alex. Tears welled.
I'm sorry, Dad.
But I'm gay. And I love Ethan. Silence stretched. Then, weakly, get out. Rejection pierced. Why won't he see me? Stumbling out, Ethan waited. It'll take time. But time healed nothing. Mark sued for emotional distress. Frivolous, but harassing. Legal bills mounted. The price of truth. At work, rumors spread. Boss called me in. Personal life's affecting performance. Fired? Close. Society's tolerance is thin. In despair, I confronted Ethan. Was this worth it? The pain. He hesitated. I thought so, but seeing you suffer. Cracks appeared. Did he really choose me? Or escape? Arguments flared. You used me, I accused. I loved you, he retorted. Love turned toxic. One night he packed. Maybe we rushed. Devastation hit. Lost everything. For nothing? Alone again, reflection deepened. Right to pursue happiness? Or duty to family? The moral maze twisted. Jamie offered comfort. You're stronger now. But strength felt hollow. A letter from Mom. Come home. Dad wants to talk. Hope flickered. Redemption? Or trap? Arriving, tension palpable. Dad? Frail spoke. I don't understand. But you're my son. Tears. I can't change, Dad. He sighed. Maybe I can try. Mark lurked. Resentful. This doesn't fix what you did. No, it didn't. Betrayal's scars remained. But a fragile bridge formed. With Ethan gone, mutual split, the void ached. Was he the one? Or catalyst? Society's pressures eased slightly. Friends rallied. But internal war raged. Forgive myself? The fragile peace with Dad shattered when Mark dropped his bombshell at a family dinner. Ethan's back, begging forgiveness. My fork clattered. Back? After leaving me? Mom glanced nervously. He called. Said it was a mistake. Dad nodded. We invited him. For closure. Closure? Rage boiled. They'd take him back over me? Without asking me? My voice cracked. Mark smirked. Why? You're the homewrecker. The label stung. Am I? Or victim of circumstance? Storming out, I drove to Ethan's old apartment, now his again. He opened the door, surprised. Alex! Why? I demanded. You left me. Now crawl back to Mark? He pulled me inside. It was too hard. The hate, the loss. With Mark, it's safe. Safe. The word mocked my sacrifices. You used us both. Tears glistened. I love you. But reality hit. Reality. Society's boot on our necks. Fight or fold. I'd fought. He folded. Leaving, betrayal's bitterness intensified. How many times can one heart break? Home felt hostile. Dad confronted. Ethan's coming tomorrow. Be civil. Civil? While my world crumbled. Duty to family means swallowing pride? The meeting was a powder keg. Ethan arrived, sheepish. Mark embraced him. Forgiven. I seethed. Just like that. Dad intervened. For the family's sake. Family's sake, code for appearances. Church friends, neighbors' gossip. My pain secondary? As they reconciled, I felt invisible.
Ethan whispered, I'm sorry.
Not enough. Excusing myself, I wandered the streets, mind turbulent. Accept this farce? Or rebel? Jamie found me at the coffee shop. Fight for yourself. His encouragement sparked action. That night, I wrote a letter to the family. I won't pretend. If Ethan's back, I'm out for good. Sending it, resolve hardened. Self-respect over approval. The response, chaos. Mom begged, don't leave. Dad called, think about us. But thinking about them had cost me years. Time for me. Mark's retaliation. Spreading rumors at my new job. Colleagues whispered. Boss warned, keep personal drama out. Pressure mounted. Society punishes the outspoken. In desperation, I attended a protest LGBT rights rally in the city. Chants filled the air. Love is love. Their empowerment surged. A speaker shared, we pay prices, but gain souls. My soul worth the cost? Yes. Ethan texted, meet, explain. Reluctantly, I agreed. At a neutral cafe, he confessed, I panicked. Mark's pressure. But I miss you. Miss me? After betrayal? Too late. He grabbed my hand. Give us another chance. Temptation tugged. Forgive or protect. Pulling away. No. You've chosen safety. I choose truth. Walking out, liberation washed over. But loneliness followed. Family ties strained further. Dad's health declined. Guilt nagged. My stubbornness harming him? A hospital visit. Dad weaker. Son, I was wrong. But family sticks. Even if it means hiding? I challenged. He paused. No. But compromise. Compromise. The ethical gray. Bend without breaking? Mark overheard. Exploded. You poisoned him. Accusations flew. Ethan tried mediating. But I snapped. Stay out. You caused this. The room fell silent. Dad whispered. Enough. Love each other. Love, amid hate, possible? Leaving, reflection deepened. Reconcile or sever. The ultimate choice. Weeks later, a turning point. Ethan left Mark again. This time for good. He showed at my door. I can't live the lie. Skepticism warred with hope. Prove it. He did, coming out publicly, facing his family's wrath. For you. Us again. Tentative steps. But trust fractured. Heal or haunt. Society watched. Some applauded, others condemned. Job secured with an inclusive firm. Friends multiplied. But internal scars throbbed. Was the pain necessary? For growth? Family thawed slowly. Mom visited. Proud of you. Dad called. Come home. Mark resisted, but cracks showed. A reluctant dinner. Tense, but civil. As Ethan and I navigated, doubts lingered. Right path or regret? The emotional toll peaked. Breakdowns, therapy. Worth it? The ultimate betrayal came not from Ethan or Mark, but from within the family core. Dad's secret revealed in a heated argument. I knew about you years ago, he admitted, voice breaking. And I had my own struggles once. Stunned silence. Dad? The pillar of heteronormativity? Mark laughed bitterly. What? You too? Dad's confession poured. A youthful fling suppressed for duty. I chose family. You should too. Hypocrisy raged inside me. He lectures while hiding. That's why you push so hard. Fear. He nodded, tears falling. Don't make my mistakes. But his mistake was denial. Mine? Embracing? The revelation shattered illusions. Mom knew, had forgiven. For stability. Stability over truth. The societal trap. Ethan, by my side, squeezed my hand. See? We're not alone. But isolation deepened. Generational trauma. Break or perpetuate. Mark stormed out, disbelieving. This family's a joke. His words echoed my thoughts. Rebuild or abandon? In therapy, I unpacked betrayal layers. How to trust. Therapist probed. What do you want? Authenticity. But at what price? Family's unity? Ethan proposed. Move away. Start fresh. Tempting. Chicago's weight suffocated. Escape ethical or cowardly? Decision loomed. A family summit. All present. Dad apologized. I was wrong to judge. Mark grudging. Ethan's mine, no was. Ethan clarified, I'm with Alex now, accept or not. Tensions peaked. Yells, tears. Mom mediated. Love wins. Does it? Amid damage? I spoke. I've paid dearly. Lost jobs, friends. For being me. Dad hugged me, first in years.
I'm proud.
Mark softened. Maybe. Truce. Fragile hope. But Ethan's doubt surfaced later. Your family's pulling you back. Paranoia or truth? Choose love or blood. Arguments ensued. You're jealous, I accused.
No, scared.
They'll change you. The rift widened. One night, Ethan left. I can't compete with them. Devastated. Again, for family, alone, reflection consumed. Sacrifice love for reconciliation?
Moral bankruptcy?
Jamie consoled. You deserve both. But life demanded choices. I pursued Ethan, finding him at the airport. Don't go. He turned. Why? You'll always choose them.
No.
Us first.
Kish, proimis.
But airport security loomed metaphorically. Society's checks. Back home, family adjusted. Dad attended pride events awkwardly. Mark dated a new woman this time. Ethan and I thrived, but scars reminded. A promotion came, but with whispers. Progress or facade. Highs and lows. A hate letter arrived. Sinners. Fear resurfaced. Safe to be out, but resilience grew. We volunteered, helping others. Pay forward the pain. Yet internal conflict persisted. Did I do right? Betraying Mark initially? Years condensed in moments.
Wedding, ours.
Family attended. Tense joy. Dad toasted. To choices. Mark clapped reluctantly. Bliss? Tempered by past. Now, looking back, the journey's toll evident. Lost innocence. Gained wisdom. But was it just? The betrayals, damages, necessary evils? In the end, one question lingers. Was coming out and pursuing forbidden love a selfish act that destroyed a family, or a courageous stand against oppressive norms that ultimately healed deeper wounds?